Greetings everybody, I am Lobo and welcome to episode 84 of my Minecraft survival series, and today we are back out here. I really wanted to round that corner so badly. One of these days, I'm going to get this perfect walking towards the camera intro and it's going to be amazing. But that's not today. Let's go ahead and talk about the farmer's market. We got the farmer's market now pretty much complete. The structure itself is pretty much together. And, you know, this divides up our farming district from that first half into this half right here, which is basically where we're actually going to do the farming. This is where the farming will actually occur. And you can see the changes I made to the path, the landscape. You know, I'm still trying to figure all that stuff. I've been working on it for quite a while now. But I think at this point, I have a pretty good idea of where the actual farms are going to be, like our actual food farms. Like, for instance, this right here, this will be our potato farm. And, you know, we're not actually doing too great on potatoes at this point. We got 4. I don't know if we can actually start a farm with that, but hopefully we can remedy that by the end of today's episode. Over here is going to be our beetroot farm, and somewhere over yonder is going to be our carrot farm. So you can kind of see how I've been changing the landscape, how I've been trying to figure out how the landscape is actually going to look before we get these things built in here. I think I have a pretty good idea, but before we actually get to, you know, farming, we need to get more farming villagers out here. So I think it's time to reconvene the Farm District Council, or whatever we're calling them, which includes this guy right here and a Green Road villager who was last seen wandering this area right here. I'm going to have to go look for him. Yeah, let me find that guy and another guy, and then I'll be back with you guys. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. Don't run away from me. Don't run away from your duties. Your district needs you in this boat. Your district needs you in this boat, my friend. So go, go, go. Oh, look what you did. Look what you did. I can't even put this back. I can't even replant it because it was purely decorational. Oh. All right, so at this point, we've now got the 3 villagers that we need to reconvene the Farm District Council. And these guys, their basic job, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? What's up? What am I missing? Anyway, as I was saying, it is about time that we reconvene the Farm District Council. Now, our old meeting room, our old Farm District Council office was right here in this tool shed. And it's now a tool shed. It's being used for more important purposes. So I think we're going to have to find a new location for our Farm District Council. And I think that new location is going to be right up here. Now, the last time we convened the Farm District Council, it was to get a Brown Road villager to work on our wheat farm. This time, our needs are a little bit more demanding. We're going to need 5 Brown Road villagers. We're going to need at least 2 of those 5 be actual farmers for trading purposes. Now, I think this is going to be a good area to do this. I don't know if we're going to do this today, but I think this is going to be a good area for it. But I do think we're going to need a little bit more room to build than what we currently have. That's why I've kind of, been, thinking about extending this hill to have it kind of, just basically give us more space to build. Now, I don't know that we're going to be working on any kind of structure today. What I want to do to start off with, though, is I want to go ahead and fill in a few hills and dig a few holes, and then we can figure out where to go from there. all right. We are back, and now we should have a pretty good idea of how the actual farms and the farm components are going to be laid out through Luna's farming district. This right here, this is our carrot farm. These are our villagers. They belong to the farm district council, which we were talking about at the start of the episode. We're not going to work on that today. I've decided we're not working on this thing today, but we do have much more room to actually do some building up here when we do get around to that. Maybe next episode. I don't know. But further up here, we have our beetroot farm. And why am I farming beetroots? I don't know really, because I don't think villagers trade for them. And I'm not sure what else they're used for. But up here, we're going to have our potato farm that we talked about when we first came into this back part of the district. Now, how these farms are going to work, basically the same way that we set up our wheat farm, that's how we're going to set up these farms. And I won't go into details because we just did the wheat farm, but it involves a lot of rails and tunnels that will lead to two separate storage systems. We have one of those storage systems already built. So let me see if I can find the path that actually leads to that. All right, I found it. This is the tunnel that leads to our farmer's market, and I just laid down some stone bricks here so we know where to actually put our rails once we start getting those in place. So let me go up here real quick, and you can kind of see like how we're going to have this whole thing laid out. Basically, we're going to collect our potatoes from up here. They're going to all get sent down the rail system into this area down here, and then they're going to continue on down this tunnel to our farmer's market, where one stack of them will be stored in the farmer's market. And then the remaining potatoes that are in the minecart are going to go to a bulk silo storage system, which is going to be placed in this back area here. I'm not sure exactly where I decided that was going to go. Oh yeah, I have. So potatoes harvested right here. One stack goes to the farmer's market. The remainder goes to this little circle over here by the barn. Now, as far as our beetroot goes, that's not something we bring to the farmer's market. That's something that, I don't think villagers trade for that. So we're just going to leave them over here and put them straight into a bulk silo storage system that's located conveniently by the actual farm. Now, as far as our carrots go, I do need to go ahead and dig a tunnel that leads to the farmer's market from this area right here. So I should probably go ahead and do that. And we are not done. Still not done. Okay, perfect. So now we have all these like areas kind of figured out, like how we're going to run our rails. So we can go ahead and follow this path over here. And actually, you know what? Let me get rid of these last two torches so that way I can pick up that diorite, because even though we don't really build with diorite too much, you can use it to craft andesite, which we do use in abundance. So I definitely want to go ahead and pick this up. But as you can see, this path is going to run down through this way. It's going to run actually towards our wheat farm. This minecart right there that just passed by us, that's the minecart that holds our wheat. So we're basically going under the, I'm gonna have to move these torches to actually lay down these rails. I have to do that. But yeah, basically this is gonna go through this path underneath the wheat farm and over here to our carrot farm right here. Now, while we are working on digging tunnels, there's still two more that need to be dug. One that goes to our potato bulk storage system, and the other one which will go to our carrot bulk storage system. And I've been wandering around trying to figure out where that was, and I realized there's no place that's actually designated for it. But then I remembered where I actually wanted it to be, which was right over here. That's why I extended this hill previously. So yeah, right here, this is where our carrots will be. Now, even though I don't think we're going to get around to building any of these bulk storage systems today, what I think would be a good idea is if we go ahead and carve out a little bit of space for them. And also, we're going to need to run the paths for our rails to get over here. And I think that should just about do it. So this is deep enough to fit in our item drop-off station and also our item elevator to bring the items up to our bulk storage systems. Now this is the path that is designated for our carrots. So you can see this goes right through here and joins up with the main tunnel. Now how I want the rails to run is I want the carrots that are collected from the farm back there, I want them to go this way, drop off one stack in the farmer's market, and then take the remainder of those items, bring them back over here, kind of divert down this path and bring the remainder to the bulk silo storage system before returning down this path and then making its way back to the farm to do the whole thing over again. So I guess the first thing we should probably do is figure out how we're going to do this intersection. I gotta see if I can remember how to actually get this whole thing set up. And I think it's a little something like this. So let's kind of walk through this real quick and see if we can get this working. So collect the carrots at the farm, bring them this way, go straight. We actually need the rail sideways if we want to go straight, because the detector rail is going to change the direction of the rail line. So if we do that, then it should go straight, right? So come this way, and then instead of turning left, it'll hit the detector rail, that'll straighten out the rail, it'll go this way, drop off its items in the bulk storage, or the farmer's market, then come back this way, and then this detector rail changes the path again to where it should divert the minecart this way, And then when it comes back this way, it should be facing towards the right already, and there's no detector rail, so it just goes back that way, right? Theoretically. Let's go ahead and give this thing an actual test run with a minecart and see if it works. So, all right, good. And then that way, and then back to... No. Why? Why are, no. All right, so I've extended the path a little bit just to see if, the rails weren't shutting off at the right time, the detector rails, so we should give it a little bit more time now, and it's still switching. Like, there's nothing there that should be causing the rail to switch, right? Like, when it comes back this way, it doesn't hit anything, but the rail still switches. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Maybe if I just stare at it for a little while longer. Let's try something else. Let's try putting the rails in a different orientation. So instead of like whatever way they're facing, if it was north-south, they won't face them east-west, or if it was east-west, we'll face them north-south. And we'll see if that does anything for us as far as, getting this thing to actually function the way I feel it should function. So let's go ahead and test this thing out, and we'll see what happens right here. There we go. There we go. All right, so that way, and then... What is happening? Okay. Let me think about this. So, it looks like it's triggering the rail around the corner before it even gets around the corner, right? So, if we move that rail a little bit further back... How did we do this with our wheat farm? I feel like I should just go over there and check it out, but... I don't want to. I want to figure this out right here, right now by myself. So if that goes that way and then triggers a rail, then what we could do is maybe run a redstone line from this detector rail to the rail we actually want to have switched. So let me go ahead and get that done. Actually, you know what? You guys can hang out. Hang out for a minute. We'll get this done together. I don't like doing live redstone because it makes me look foolish, but I feel like we've already passed that point, so why don't we go ahead and do this together? All right, so we want to have the line actually run into this rail right here. So let's go ahead and bring it back a little bit further so that we can kind of divert it to actually face it. We're just gonna do this with, we're not gonna get fancy with it. We'll just get some redstone dust, and I believe I have some of that on me, so there we go. And we can go ahead and run this up here, this way, and that way. And okay, so will this work now? All right, so it should come back over here, divert this way to the farmer's market, go back this way to the bulk storage, and then go back to the farm. Yes. All right. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll just do that. We'll keep it simple. And we'll run the same system for our potato storage right here. So once the minecart gets back over here to the farm, we'll kind of trace its path. So it comes from the farm, goes down this way to the farmer's market if I don't get in its way. I'm sorry about that, minecart. So down to the farmer's market, then should come back up, go to the potato bulk storage, and then back this way to the farm. Yes. Perfect. And since we got that settled, I went ahead and ran all the lines for our item transportation system for our carrots and potatoes that go over here to the farmer's market and to their individual bulk silo storage systems. So I think we should be good there. Now, the only thing we have to do rail-wise is actually get the collection system in for our various crops. But before we do that, I want to go over here and show you something because I'm trying to iron out the kinks with our wheat farm before we actually build these other farms. And something I've noticed is that Wheatley over here, our wheat farmer, is still trampling crops. So the thing is, we put these leaves in here above the glowstone because he was stepping off the glowstone, trampling crops. And you can see that that's actually worked. I don't see any like trample crops towards the middle. They're all towards the edges here, next to these wooden planks. So these planks are higher than farmland. So I think he's jumping off of them, just being like, and just being really aggressive with the farming here. So I think what we're going to do is prevent him from getting onto those areas by putting some trap doors over these fence posts just like this, and that should prevent him from actually stepping up onto the section of block that he can actually step onto. And there we go. All of our trapdoors are in place. All of our farmland is rehoed, the seeds replanted, and Wheatley is over here picking them up. Now I'm just gonna keep an eye on him for a few minutes to make sure he's not trampling any more of this farmland, but he seems to be doing a pretty decent job so far of not making a mess of things. Yes, I am talking about you, Wheatley. Just go on about your business. Go on about your business. Hopefully that stops him from trampling the crops, but what's more is I actually like the way this looks. Like, I like the way this stuff, the preventative measures actually look, like the leaves and stuff and the trap doors along the fence posts. I think that all ended up actually adding to this build, and I'm very, very happy about that. But let's go ahead and get back to work. The next step in getting our food farms functional is getting the collection system in here that will collect all the crops from the surface into a hopper minecart, and this is not the way I want to do this. I'm trying to run this in such a way that it maximizes the amount of space, like the collectible space beneath our farmland. I want to have rails under every farmable block. That's the goal here. And I think this is going to be how we do that. So right now I'm just doing regular rails first, then we'll go back in and add our powered rails. Just as with building, it's always good to get your general layout first, and then you go back in, you add your details. But that is the end of our line right there. So the minecart will bounce off of this block and then head back once it's done doing its thing. So yeah, I think we got that in place now. Now I need to go ahead and add the powered rails, figure out where the water is going to go, figure out where the lighting is going to go. And I think we'll probably do lighting along all the edges right here. Like, you're probably taking the place of these planks and towards the center right here as well. And we'll just have water on top of that. Yeah. And hopefully that provides us with enough coverage for water and light to where our farmland remains well hydrated and also is safe for our villagers to actually walk around in. So I guess now at this point, let me go ahead and get the powered rails in, and then we can go ahead and figure out all the rest of that stuff. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do this for all 3 of our farms. And once I get this final rail powered, that is going to be it for our powered rails in our potato farm. And yeah, I think that is going to work. Actually, no, that's not going to work. That is definitely not going to work. All right, that's going to work. And no, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, and now I guess I'll triple check this and hope that it's going to work. And after I walk around this maybe like 3 or 4 more times, this will be it for our beet farm as well. And finally, all the rails are now in on our carrot farm too, so that's all good to go. We can start laying our farmland down in just a minute, but there is something I want to address first, and that's these trapdoors over here. So you'll notice that I do not have jump boost on at the moment. I only have haste, but I can easily jump onto these trapdoors, and so can Wheatley. I actually just saw him up here. He came up here and he did a flying leap onto this block right here. Oh, so yeah, the trapdoors, those things have to come out. And this should be the last of them. I am going to be holding on to these because I am certain that we're going to be using these in a future project. But I've gone ahead and replaced all those trapdoors with slabs, which admittedly don't look as good, but hopefully they should accomplish what we need them to accomplish. Actually, that doesn't look too bad at all. That does not look too bad at all, I don't think. So at this point, let's get back to work. I'm going to go ahead and start taking all of our tracks and putting farmland over top of them. And yeah, I'll be back with you guys in just a few minutes. And that's a 1, a 2, and a 3. So that is it for all the farmland laid down. Now we need to actually go and get some crops to plant. So I guess we're heading back to the business district. Because as you might remember, we only have 4 potatoes to our name, so we're going to bring those over here. We need more potatoes. We need more beetroot seeds. We don't have a whole lot of those either. We're very, very short on beetroot seeds. We have a pretty decent amount of carrots, but not enough to do what we actually need to do, which is we need to get 9 stacks of seeds into each of these villagers. I'm not even sure if that's necessary for the carrot and potato farmers, but we're going to do it anyway. We need to get 9 stacks of seeds for each of the farming villagers that are going to be working our farms, and we also need enough seeds on top of that to actually plant in our farmland. Not just seeds. Seeds are for wheat, but you get it. For, substitute everything I just said, where I use seeds for carrots, potatoes, and beetroot seeds. But we're just going to go ahead and bring these over here to our little mini farm right here, which is conveniently located inside the enchanted pickaxe. This is actually the farm we used to get most of our food for a long time when we were first starting out here. And I can't stop eating the produce. I should probably should probably at this point take a step back and fill up my hunger bar so that way we can actually build up a nice surplus. All right. All right. So that took a little bit longer than expected, but we are now getting our crops planted in here. It did take longer than expected because I had to sidetrack a little bit because we were running pretty low on bone meal. So what I had to do was I borrowed some from our tree farm, and then I had to go and take a trip to the withering house to collect some from there. It's just running all over the place. But yeah, we are now done. This is the carrot farm. And it's ready. I mean, the farm itself is pretty much done. I mean, we need to dress it up, put fences around it, get it prepared for our villagers and all that. We, of course, also need to get the bulk storage systems built in, but the farms themselves are pretty much done. This is our beetroot over here. And if we divert a little bit this way, you can see we do actually have all our potatoes all planted, ready to go. And yeah, I'm actually pretty happy about that. I am pretty happy about that because now that we're able to harvest multiple crops here in Luna, we can, add some variety to our menu, which is going to be nice. And also we're going to have plenty of crops to trade to our villagers and get some more emeralds. But yeah, I think that's probably going to be it for us today. Now, when we come back, I think we're going to focus on getting some more farmers over here into Luna, so we will convene the Farm District Council in hopes of getting that accomplished, but that is all the time that I have for today. So if you guys have enjoyed this episode, please feel free to hit that little thumbs up button. That would mean a whole lot to me, and if you want to see more, please remember to subscribe. But as always, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I deeply appreciate it, and until next time, I am Lobo, and I will see you guys later.